Hello, welcome to another episode of building a multiplayer Asteroids game in JavaScript, Python, and AWS. So in this one, next part we're actually going to do is we're going to do some actual animation on the screen. So we're going to get some cool stuff going on here. So in the last episode we left off, we've been able to create a React component for our canvas, and that component actually is drawing basically a black rectangle over and over and over and over again. And if you want to see kind of how fast that's happening is, so if I actually add a method in our console.log, we'll just call this rendering. In the web console over here, you'll see this is going up very, very fast. So you can see this is being called over and over and over again to actually update our screen if we had any dynamic logic. But for now, let's get rid of that. And actually, another thing I want to do first is it's good practice to kind of document what props your components are receiving, because last episode I mentioned that we might want to add a width and height prop to this so we can actually specify how big the canvas is going to be. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to install a new component, or sorry, a new package called prop types. And this is basically going to allow us to document the props that our React component is going to accept. So what we're going to do is we're going to import that now. So import prop types from prop types. And at the bottom of the component, this is typically where people put these. We're going to go canvas.proptypes equals a new JavaScript object. And that is going to be equal to, so we're going to accept a screen width. And it's going to be a number type because it's going to be basically the like 500 by 500 kind of some sort of number. And we're going to say this is an actual required prop. So prop types.number.is required. So these are both required. And now what's going to happen is if we go back to our app, you can see here now I have a warning and an error in the console saying that these two props are marked as required, but I didn't specify them. So the browser is actually giving us a heads up about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go specify those now. So we're going to specify our width. So let's say it's going to be 500. And our height will be 500 as well. So now we'll see these warnings go away. Good. Now we're going to go back to our canvas. And what we're actually going to do is set the size of our canvas using those two props. So you'll notice in here, actually I'm going to move this in line to the function there. And then what we're going to do is, you can remember here, we can actually access our canvas through the refs component. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to go this.refs.canvas. And the canvas has some properties to control the width and height. So we have a width and a height one. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the width equal to this.props and screen width. And then we're going to do the same thing again here. Height equals this.props.screen height. Okay. And then what we're also gonna do is you notice you can't really tell that it's any bigger here, but if we go to our fill rect here, let's say we want to use this function to actually clear the screen and kind of draw a fresh black background each time. So what we can actually do here is for the width and height, we're going to use our props for those sizes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use our destructuring again to pull out the screen width and screen height of our props. And then our width is going to become our screen width. And our height will become screen height. Now when you run that, there we go. So now we've got a 500 by 500 canvas element ready. Next thing we want to do, so let's say we want to add a white circle to the middle of the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some new logic under the rec. So after we've cleared the screen, the next thing we want to do is draw a circle. So we're going to call the context.begin path, which is essentially going to start a new line drawing so we can actually configure how the drawing is going to look, the styling, the colors, and then draw it. And what we're going to do is we're going to specify the stroke style for this drawing. And in this case, we'll just make it white, so we'll go 0 FFFF. And then we're going to use the context.arc function, which wants you to specify the x and the y-axis. So in this case, let's put it around 40x, and then we'll go screen height divided by 2 for the y. So we'll put it right around the middle of the y-axis. And for the radius, we'll make it, say, 20. Start angle, we're going to start at 0 degrees. And the end angle, we want this to be a full circle, so we're going to go 360 degrees around. So we're basically going to go 2 times math.pi times 2, so we get a full 360 degrees. So let's save this. Oh, actually we're missing one more thing here. So we've set up our drawing. Now we need to actually draw it out. So we're going to call stroke, which will actually draw that out to the screen. And there we go. So we've got our circle there now drawn out. And let's say we want to actually do some animation with that. So what we can do is let's add a new x position to our state. So we'll initialize it to 40, and then we'll pull that state out here. So call it x. Replace our 40 with that. So if we do that, we'll get it in the same position as currently. But now what we want to do is every time we update our scene, we want to increase the x-axis by 1 point. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this .setState, and then we're going to accept, or we're actually going to pass in a function this time, so we can access the state as the time that we want to actually increase it. And we're going to return our new state. So this is going to be x is going to be equal to state.x plus 1. Yeah, and the reason we're doing that is because we're updating the state based on the current state. So we want to make sure that when this gets updated, we've got whatever the most current state is in the object here. So that's why we're passing in a function that returns the state versus up here where we're actually setting the state, because here we're not referring to any existing state to update the new state. Down here we are, because we're incrementing the x position each time. So let's save this now. And now it'll update, and there we go. So now you can see we've actually got the circle moving across the screen, and there eventually it'll go away. And then if we refresh, it's back again. Yeah, and this so that's it for this part. So this canvas element is actually going to be used throughout the entire application to render the different drawing scenes. So what's going to happen later on is in app.js, our canvas is going to have some child elements, which will have our game, our main menu, and that kind of stuff. So then the canvas will be available to those components to actually draw on. But yeah, so we're going to start working on that. Probably in the next episode, we'll start on the main menu, or we'll see how that goes. Okay, thanks. See you guys next episode. Bye.